The TVWan News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome. This is TVWan News. I'm Maricela Caledonia. The Waigani Committal Court arraigned 7 police officers today over the recent death of an 18-year-old student. They were charged by police on the allegation for murder under Section 300, subsection 1 of the Criminal Code.
The police officers charged with the alleged killing of the teenage student are Joseph Ronnie, 29, Sabian Saulai, 32, Mel Tami, 25, Wayne Tali, 23, Christopher Tokana, 34, One Piece Boyne, 27, and Frederick Siri, 33. All 7 who are in custody appeared before the Waigani Committal Court today for arraignment after police charged them for killing 18-year-old Kimoli Dogoba on the 27th of November 2023 at Godens in what appears to be a police brutality case. They were charged by police on the allegation of murder under Section 300, subsection 1 of the Criminal Code. When presenting their charges, Magistrate Albert Daniels told the police officers that this is the first process of the court of which charges are laid against them. There are other processes of which the court will follow. Magistrate Daniels told the accused that during the court process they have rights in accordance to the Constitution that protects them, including being innocent until proven guilty, that they have the right to remain silent, and that they have the right to seek bail. Magistrate Daniels said he was explaining the court processes and constitutional right to them because many prisoners tend to run away from prison after charges are laid. Meanwhile, the magistrate told the police officers that it is now the duty of the police prosecutor to prepare the police ender brief before the court moves further along with the case. The magistrate then adjourned the matter to February 14, 2024. Outside of court, Marogo Dogoba, father of the deceased, thanked the police for ensuring the matter reached the courts.
Thank you, Lord, Commissioner of Police, because I'm speeding this case. Me talk thank you, long Metsu, Lomboroko, I'm looking at city employee. Me talk thank you, Lord. Me talk thank you, Lord. All homicide line investigations, who said he been work tirelessly for 2 weeks. Me talk thank you, Lord, because you miss speeding case now, you miss another all this man. 7 man you may identify now, and more another court now.
Dagoba is provincial administrator of Ella Province. Tracy Pa, TVWan News.
60 young leaders from 14 provinces, including the National Capital District, are participating in this year's National Youth Parliament, facilitated by the United Nations Population Fund in Papua New Guinea in partnership with the National Youth Development Authority and with the funding support from the European Union's Spotlight Initiative. The Youth Parliament is being held from December 11 to the 15th. The Youth Parliament was first conducted in 2020 and since then it has extended to the provincial level, with UNFPA and NYDA convening the first provincial youth parliament in Marap this year. The Youth Parliament enables young people to attain the confidence and knowledge to become leaders, gain skills on self-awareness and assertiveness. It teaches youth the principles and qualities of good leaders, national and international human rights instruments, and the Constitution of Papua New Guinea, as well as training on data use for them to be able to undertake evidence-based debates, advocacy, and activism. In his opening remarks for the Youth Parliament today, UN Resident Coordinator Richard Howard challenged the 60 successful applicants of the 2023 Youth Parliament to be leaders where they are and where they can. Deputy Director of the National Youth Development Authority, Dorcas Mileng, in her opening remarks stressed on the importance of not just being a leader, but a quality screening process. Only 60 were selected. Australia has been working closely with government and humanitarian partners to provide relief supplies to communities affected by the eruption of the Mount Ulawun volcano in the West New Britain province. Emergency relief supplies for 500 households, including tarpaulins, shelter kits, and hygiene kits, were flown over.
Australia has provided humanitarian relief supplies to communities affected by the eruption of Mount Ulawun volcano in West New Britain province. The eruption on 20th November has impacted over 26,000 people in the surrounding areas. Approximately 9,000 people have been internally displaced and are residing in care centres in West New Britain and East New Britain provinces. Australia's contribution is in response to Papua New Guinea's request for support and the priorities identified by the West New Britain Provincial Disaster Office. This contribution is part of a broader humanitarian response to the disaster. Over the weekend and on Monday, Australia deployed a Royal Australian Air Force C-130J Hercules aircraft to assist with the airlift of humanitarian relief supplies to West New Britain. Emergency relief supplies for 500 households, including tarpaulins, shelter kits, hygiene kits, kitchen kits, mosquito nets, sleeping mats, solar lights, and water containers were transported to Kimbe over multiple trips. Australia also supported the movement of supplies for the International Organization for Migration and UNICEF. The provincial authorities are leading the onward movement and distribution of supplies to care centres. Carol Kiru Jr., TVWan News.
A new 10-kilowatt MW transmitter for the New Guinea Islands region was recently commissioned at the Kurakakaul Transmitter Farm in East New Britain Province. Minister for ICT Timothy Masiu and Regional MP Michael Maroom witnessed the milestone achievement for the NGI region. Minister Masiu stated that the transmitter will provide residents with improved access to telecommunication services, including radio, facilitating information dissemination and fostering greater connectivity. Masiu added that one more transmitter will be launched at Bubia in Ley, Marap province for the Mombasa region. Prime Minister James Marap returned to the country today. He held a media conference upon arrival at Jackson's to provide an update from his bilateral meeting with Australian counterpart Anthony Albanese. Marap confirmed that a bilateral security agreement has been signed with Australia, one he says will be tremendous benefit for the country.
Prime Minister James Marap confirmed with PNG media today that the bilateral security agreement signed with Australia will have a huge security impact in the country. He clarified to media upon arrival that the specific elements of the security agreement looks deeply into domestic security, assessing our police, assisting our courthouse, and assisting correctional service institutions' capacity. The Prime Minister added that PNG had a strong input in the structure of the bilateral security agreement.
Lest we all forget, our own government in the last 2 years has stepped up allocation to police, ministerial services and judiciary in a substantial manner, knowing very well that law and order is a crucial issue in our country. In fact, our biggest threat right now is our own internal security. And securing our internal security is in our national interest, as well as Australia's collective and shared interest. We live in one space, we live in one region. Papua New Guinea is the closest nation in as far as proximity is concerned to Australia, as well as our affinity, our close shared history. They also remain very, very interested in what happens in our own domestic security, especially Papua New Guinea being a hub of close to over 3,000 to 5,000 Australian based businesses who have an address here in our country.
Marap pointed out that the bilateral security agreement facility of over 200 million Australian dollar is over and above ongoing and existing programs that PNG has with the Australian government. However, the Prime Minister said it is specifically targeted for police recruit.
I'll just give you an example. For instance, there have been cry for PPCs and the capacity of the provincial police management. Those areas are looked at. Areas of investigation, areas of corruption fighting, and also our Bomana Training College facility, as well as the Joint Forces Training Facility in Lae. We looked at to ramp up training capacity to 1,000 police training capacity at any one time. Right now we have a 300-man training capacity that has been there since 1975. Our own government has restarted the training program. Today, as I speak, in the 300-man training facility, you have 500 police being trained as I speak.
Freddie Mo, TVWan News.
Meantime, Prime Minister Marap also confirmed that about 20 judges will be recruited with the possibility of funding sourced from the Bilateral Security Agreement facility.
About 20 judges will be recruited, possibility. Funding will be sourced from that facility also. So we have external judges coming in, and we'll be working with our Chief Justice for his guidance to lead us into what sort of judges to hire. And of course, recruitment, etc., will be part of judiciary's work with the program that is emerging. So good. I want to inform our country that is something that we've worked to complement our government's drive to really ramp up greater support in the total law and justice sector.
This is TVWan News. When we return, Anthony Smara explains why investment conferences are hosted overseas.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Enjoy life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Hot in talk, young or old, a scalress family meal with home. We'll bring out the smiles, cause it's our favorite from us. Tennessee cola, scare rice, don't scare price. Tennessee cola, scare rice, don't scare price. Amber, you like it?
More clean, more sweet. Flame natural white sugar. Make more.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magical cuddle, get up a big smile on face. Time for Kim chicken, a great fumu too. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
The Toyota JD Hiace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency and quietness, designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hiace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort and safety. Experience the ride on the Hiace bus and experience the Hiace pride, the bus that exceeds all expectations.
This season, the Bunce family are taking the ultimate risk.
There's no investors, there's no third party.
We're paying for it ourselves.
We have to find some good trade.
The stakes are high, and every decision is their own.
Time and money is everything. That's how important it is.
Hit it! Rush, move.
It's all or nothing.
If we don't mine this year, we have no next year.
Jade Fever. All new season coming soon on Outdoor.
It's destiny.
Yes, it's the best we got.
We are back, baby. We're back. We're back.
Welcome back. Remote Ono Primary School in Usino local level government in Medan province was privileged to launch a new e-learning facility on campus. This means subject lessons will be televised to students. Secretary for Education Dr. Uke Kombra was present to witness this significant milestone alongside local MP and Minister for Education Jimmy Uguro.
Ono Primary School in Medang's Usino LLG is privileged to have an e-learning facility set up on campus where different lessons will be televised to students in the classroom setting. Local MP and Minister for Education Jimmy Uguro had with him Secretary for Education Dr. Uke Kombra to witness the launching. Ono Primary School is located on the outskirts of Usino Bundi district and to date has seen little to no infrastructure development. The e-learning facility is a massive achievement for the school and the technical team who helped in implementing this project.
This is good for our country. That should help our vision and plan. So we raise our standards in our communities and our remote places in the country. So we together change and leave no one behind. So I just want to say thank you for the work done. So people blame me long Ono Primary School community. We got privilege so now put him on e-library program blame me, TV blame me and now and on.
Deputy Governor for Medang, Pewa Aimai, is enthusiastic about this new development.
Now, we plan 40 years, now we plan looking series. This e-learning and by helping through all beginning to be inside long. LRG, districts, now I'm start Ono. We thank you as a Deputy Governor, President, the Council long board, we take you through the Education Department, Secretary and Minister. Thank you.
According to Dr. Kombra, there will be future developments into the program. The ultimate aim is to transmit live classroom lessons from Port Moresby to all schools nationwide.
This QTV and e-learning, we look him now and I launch him now. And start of more things to come. Thank you. All right. Now by me choose to go along or teacher can start. Now by somewhere along one club. Man lo Moresby and but teach start learning about camera. Now I'm recorded message, but our dream is that one day you make a teacher in lifestyle of Moresby and teach the life about camera.
Teachers at Ono Primary will be given a manual and guide including CDs on respective subjects which will be televised to students. Alice Peter reporting, TVWan News, Medang.
PNG's resource and energy sector accounts for 90% of its exports. President of the Chamber of Resources and Energy, Anthony Smare, said this is why they host investment conferences overseas to promote investment in Papua New Guinea and to discuss and share opportunities to collaborate to advance PNG's interest.
The 17th PNG Resources and Energy Investment Conference in Sydney is by far PNG's biggest investor convention overseas. It has 102 speakers scheduled for the 4-day event and over 1,000 registered attendees as of Monday, December 11th at the Sydney International Convention Centre. In his introductory remarks on Monday morning, President of the Chamber of Resources and Energy, Anthony Smare, acknowledged representatives from the PNG and Australian governments, state agencies, the companies that invest and operate in PNG, and international institutions that finance work in the country.
Thank you for the important work that you are all doing in Papua New Guinea, building the economy, providing jobs, providing training to our young people, and contributing to the development of our communities in our country. We appreciate your attendance at this conference to help promote investment in PNG and to discuss and share opportunities to collaborate, to advance our mutual interests with the ultimate aim of moving our country forward, both economically and socially. So this is PNG's major investment conference. Its purpose is to promote PNG as an investment destination, particularly in the resources and energy sector, which accounts for around 90% of the country's exports. PNG Core works very closely with the national government, particularly in the last few years with Prime Minister Marap's government, in using the conference and the exhibition to promote the government agenda and government policies, the investment opportunities and opportunities for trade in PNG with PNG companies and with PNG projects.
Smare further said the conference is traditionally held in Sydney due to the ease of access to international attendees and investors compared to travelling to Port Moresby or other locations.
And it's also due to the historical significance of Australia as an important source of investment into PNG and expertise.
The final day of the conference is Wednesday, 13th December, with presentations from state agencies like the Investment Promotion Authority, the Independent Consumer and Competition Commission, and the PNG Immigration and Citizenship Services Authority. Salome Vincent, TVWan News.
During the 17th PNG Energy and Investment Conference, Oktedi Mining Limited shared their plans to generate over 30 billion kina in social benefits over the next 17 years. To achieve this, the company has developed a strategic plan that includes a life of mine extension until 2050, with a focus on sustainable development for affected communities. The East Wall Cutback and Tailings Storage Facility are among the key projects that OTML is undertaking to generate a robust 28 billion kina, which is equivalent to $7.5 billion cash flow. Despite facing operational challenges due to the El Nino weather pattern, OTML is optimistic and continues to plan actively to ensure that shareholders continue to benefit. A government-funded coffee commercialization project is now in the process of signing 24 productive partnerships to the tune of 20 million kina. It is envisaged that this program will graduate at least 2 lead partners to become coffee exporters. The Coffee Industry Corporation's PNG Agriculture Commercialization and Diversification Project has commenced the signing of partnership agreements with successful lead partners that have been selected through a stringent and lengthy process. Project Manager Potasia Hombunaka explained that the whole process of finally having the successful lead partners to formally sign the agreements with the project was not an easy task, as it took most of this year to complete the processes to ensure those selected were genuine partners to implement the project. Hombunaka explained that it has taken the project management unit of Coffee 12 months. They are now into the process of signing 24 productive partnerships to the tune of 20 million kina. Productive Partnerships Coordinator Alfie Semi said with the signing of the first 18 of the 24 partnerships commencing this week and last week, the project will be reaching out to over 10,000 households. Semi said the funds drawn down by the lead partners will be under 3 components: goods, services, and operations. Provinces who will be benefiting from this partnerships agreement signing include Eastern Highlands, Simbu, Jiwaka, Western Highlands, and Morobe. The project is funded through Go PNG loan funding from the World Bank. The Department of Agriculture and Livestock is responsible for the project, with Coffee Industry Corporation and Cocoa Board as implementing agencies. The winner for the SP Laga National Coaster promo for Southern Region was announced today. Janet Algon, a resident of Gerhu, answered the winning phone call, sadly, whilst in mourning.
SP Brewery's National Consumer Promotion Draw is the biggest promo under the flagship program SP Laga. Today's major draw is the first of 4 Toyota coaster buses to be awarded to a lucky winner in each region. The draw ran since August to November this year, and across that period, over 700,000 entries were seen to enter the draw across the country.
The NCP had very simple mechanics. You had to go out, you had to purchase SP Laga, collect 6 of those red promotional caps on the top of our SP Brown bottles, submit them into an envelope and submit them into one of our draw barrels. And
amongst over 280,000 entries in the southern region, Badili Police Station Commander Inspector Obed Jerry was selected to draw the one lucky winner.
All right, let's go. Good job, Inspector Jerry. Let's go.
Just calling you to let you know we did the draw today, and you're the winner for the Costa bus. Yeah. Are you happy? Are you excited?
Yes, I'm very excited.
Oh, tell us.
Janet Algon, residing at Gero Stage 1, who is mourning the recent death of her mother, answered the winning phone call. She is the lucky winner for Southern Region.
The 4 lucky winners, they'll each receive a 25-seater coaster bus. And that bus, they can either run it as their business. I know a lot of people really aspired to have their own business, which is why we had such a great response to this promotion. Others might choose to sell the bus and take the cash for that. So it was open to all our consumers, and for all of those consumers, they had the choice and the willingness to do what they wanted with that bus.
The next major draw will be for the Momase region. It will take place in Leh this Wednesday. SP received over 167,000 entries for the Momase draw. Jasmine Jack, TVWan News.
And now the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2685 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2510, $0.3947 Australian dollars, $0.2349 euro, and 37.79 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, coffee, and copper is trading higher. The rest closed the day lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. You're watching TVWan News. After the break, Tropical Cyclone Jasper intensifies and fossil fuels agreement proving difficult. Reach at COP28. Stay tuned.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
Right across the nation, we eat snacks crackers. Emi trupla. All get a young plan alapun, only like him snacks crackers. Only make him here, no PNG, one-time lay biscuit company. It's crunchy and tasty. It's irresistible.
Hey, you want talk?
Want to win one of 4 coaster buses? Simply collect 6 SP Laga red promo caps and enter the draw at a participating store near you. There are heaps of other great prizes to win too, like SP Hunters jerseys and other awesome SP Laga gifts. So enter the draw today for a chance to win. There's a bus to be won in Islands, Southern, Momase, and the New Guinea Islands. SP Laga, Bungi Mumi!
Are you ready to meet the best version of yourself? The one with the bright, confident smile? You've got to take pride in how good you look, how fresh your breath smells, and how great you feel. To boss it at work, to be your best for uni, or to catch the eye of that special someone. You've got to brush up your vibe with whiter, healthier, brighter teeth. Brush up for confidence with Colgate.
He's seen as a table legend.
That is delicious.
Join Tommy Gomes in a tasty culinary voyage.
Holy mackerel. Did I just say that? We're exploring where your quality American seafood comes from.
Quality is key.
The uglier the fish, the better it tastes.
Take a deep dive into America's commercial fishing culture. The Fishmonger. First and exclusive. Coming soon on Outdoor.
For centuries, our kind has stayed hidden on Earth. But darkness has found us again. Prime. This is about the fate of all living things.
Transformers: Rise of the Beasts premieres Saturday, December 23rd, 9 p.m. on HBO.
Hello, WWE Universe. This is WWE superstar Shayna Baszler, the Queen of Spades. I'm here to set it all on fire. Watch WWE on Digicel.
Welcome back. Tropical cyclone Jasper has intensified to a Category 2 system as North Queenslanders brace for the storm to cross the coast tomorrow. Heavy rainfall is expected to cause life-threatening flooding, and residents in Port Douglas, Townsville and Cairns are being encouraged to keep up to date with warnings and alerts.
We are expected to see destructive winds of up to 140 kilometres per hour with this system, and they will continue to strengthen as Jasper approaches the coast. A Category 2 system typically sees enough wind to bring up and pull down large trees and also move around large objects that have not been secured. It's important to note too that gale force winds aren't just gusts of winds that happen occasionally, but they can be consistent and sustained winds, so very strong winds occurring at a very consistent rate. Therefore, we've got our warning zone issued, so that's gales within the next 24 hours, and that's Cape Flattery to Lucinda, and we've got that watch zone as well, so that's expecting impacts within that 24 to 48 hours, and that's Cape Melville to Cape Flattery and some inland areas.
Oil exporting countries will be called upon to reduce their production drastically in the coming decades if a draft agreement published at the COP28 UN summit on Monday is accepted. The text avoids highly contentious calls for a phase-out or phase-down of fossil fuels, which have been the focus of deep disagreement among the more than 190 countries meeting in Dubai. The COP28 presidency released a draft text in the early evening on Monday, which called for reducing both consumption and production of fossil fuels in a just, orderly, and equitable manner, so as to achieve net zero by, before, or around 2050 in keeping with the science. The text is expected to form the key outcome of this fortnight of fraud talks on the future of climate action, which are scheduled to end tomorrow morning in the United Arab Emirates. If the commitment on fossil fuel survives an expected onslaught from the negotiations of big oil-producing countries, it would mark the first time that countries had agreed under the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, parent treaty to the Paris Agreement, to make big cuts in their fossil fuel production. Ecologist and climate scientist Professor Leslie Hughes says it was going to be difficult to reach an agreement on fossil fuels at COP28.
Got the oil-producing nations led by Saudi Arabia who absolutely don't want fossil fuels mentioned in the agreement at all. Yet we have the majority of countries there really being led morally by the Pacific nations who see climate change as an existential threat to their existence, absolutely digging in to say we've not just got to phase them down, we've got to phase out fossil fuels. I personally wouldn't want to be in the position of the COP president, Sultan Al Jaber, right now, because I don't see those two ends of the spectrum coming together, no matter how frantic the negotiations. I might be proved wrong, but it seems like the two positions are more entrenched than ever.
You mentioned the COP28 president, Sultan Al Jaber, who's also the head of a major oil company. Was it always going to end this way when you have someone who's president of climate change talks also being the boss of an oil company?
Look, I think most people think that having the talks in the UAE and having Al Jaber as the president was always a pretty strange choice. I don't know what the thinking was at the UNFCCC to make that happen. I think he has an incredibly difficult position. He has his own reputation riding on there being an agreement at the end. He's come under extraordinary criticism by nations for what is perceived to be his attitude to ongoing fossil fuel production. Yet he is surrounded by oil-rich countries that are fighting for their economic existence. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes. I'm sure he's working very, very hard behind the scenes to get some sort of agreement. But maybe because of where it is and who the president is, this was always doomed to failure. I don't like to think so, but we will see tonight or tomorrow.
You talked about the reaction from Pacific Island nations. How important was it for them to see movement on fossil fuels at this COP?
Well, look, even with 1.5 degrees of warming, many of those low-lying Pacific nations are in grave threat. You know, they are already being inundated regularly as the sea level rises. Even at 1.5, they are in great danger. They are in absolute danger at 2 degrees. So you cannot blame them at all for absolutely fighting tooth and nail for their very existence. You know, we've had the Australian government even extending an agreement with Tuvalu that Tuvalu people can come to Australia as their nation basically goes under the waves. So we are seeing incredibly strong voices from the Pacific, but it's good to see that we are seeing lots and lots of other countries join with them. Europe, for example, is united. Most of Latin America is united. Many of the African developing nations are united with them, saying if we go over 1.5, it is catastrophe.
3 Pacific ministers have attended a high-level meeting on police cooperation between China and Pacific Island nations as Beijing continues its push to cement deeper security ties with the region. China's Minister of Public Security convened the second ministerial dialogue on police cooperation with Pacific Island countries on Friday last week. While last year's meeting was virtual and drew in only one minister, this year's meeting was held in person in Beijing and drew in ministers from 3 Pacific Island countries, Solomon Islands, Samoa and Tonga. Kiribati sent its acting police commissioner, while Papua New Guinea sent assistant police commissioner. Hodges, Ete and Cook Islands sent a mid-ranking police inspector, Vanuatu, the chair of its police service commission. There is no evidence at this stage that Beijing struck any concrete agreements on Friday. State media Xinhua reported that Minister Wang said China was willing to work with all parties to foster a good ministerial dialogue mechanism and carry out practical and mutually beneficial cooperation. Education ministers are gearing up to hash out a new school funding deal with expert advice showing entrenched issues around inequality and disadvantage.
the government at a federal level, but also state and territories, their education ministers have all met to discuss this review, which has come in the lead up to renegotiation of school funding deals. And it shows that disadvantage is pretty widespread in the Australian school system, but particularly when it comes to issues around school funding. So what the review found was that public schools, the vast majority of public schools, in fact, are not funded to the school resourcing standard, which is meant to be the bare minimum of funding that they're meant to get. Now, on the other side of that equation, schools in the private sector are either getting at their allocation for the school resourcing standard or above it. And the reviewers said that that needs to be addressed urgently, particularly when you consider the rates of disadvantage as well when you look at the public school system. We've actually been looking into this morning, looking at the data held by the Productivity Commission, among others, and they found that if you look at the economic advantage of students who go to public and private schools in the public system, 31% of students are from socio-educationally disadvantaged backgrounds. That's in comparison to 12.8% in the private system. The private system enrolls fewer students in remote areas, another area of disadvantage, and the public system enrolls more students who have disabilities that need extensive or substantial levels of support. And also we know that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students as well face higher levels of educational disadvantage, and the public school sector seems to enrol 4 times as many Indigenous students than the private sector was. So clearly in the numbers there we can see just how this disadvantage works in this system.
And this report, Claudia, found schools with the most disadvantage are the ones getting underfunded. What's going to be done about that?
That's right. And so education ministers will now need to meet again next year as they renegotiate all of these funding deals, which are about to expire. And we've actually heard from Education Minister Jason Clare, the Federal Education Minister. He says that this is something he's very passionate about addressing.
We have one of the most segregated school systems in the OECD, not by the colour of your skin, but by the size of your parents' pay packet. If they're at a school where there are lots of other children who are experiencing disadvantage, then it's even harder to catch up.
Federal Education Minister Jason Clare there. And Ros, the funding agreement for schools is going to expire next year, so I think the education ministers have a pretty busy 2024 cut out for them, because that's when they're going to be hashing out this new deal.
And that ends the news segment. We'll have sports with Rex after the break. Stay tuned.
A tantalizing remote. With his reindeer and his sleigh, I'd be up and away. I could be Santa, I could be Santa
Claus. A quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier by you like you more.
Start your day by doing the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate. Wake up. Brush your teeth. And smile. Smile throughout your day with Colgate.
Strong like you, smart like me.
I hope they don't break.
Now Charlie look his son. This is Relaxo. Strong plus Shred. Should I try them on you?
No, please. I'll take them.
Relaxo. very strong, lasts long.
On the ground, the Fijian. Kebalo, oh, Butterfingers there out of the hands of Dante. You've got to be careful. He's up. Ramos in the corner.
Australia's favorite chef is taking you around the world to meet amazing people.
Teach me how to make this one.
Experience delicious food.
Bon appetit.
And discover the most incredible
Yummy.
flavors.
Yum. Nice.
This is a culinary expedition on a budget.
50 rupees. That's a deal. Whoa.
Cheers. Around the world with Mano Fidel, a brand new series coming soon on Outdoor.
What's wrong?
Was I here last night?
Yes.
You sure?
Hugo thinks he's a pro settling scores.
Trafficking, Vincent Sierra. I can't keep doing your job for you.
Who is this?
You're too slow to make the pay. But they did to children. They're not doing anything about it.
He's taking out the traffickers that we couldn't.
Memory.
Welcome back. The national government honored its promise today and presented a 1 million kina check as incentive to PNG athletes who won gold medals at the recent Pacific Games in the Solomon Islands. The money will be disbursed into the bank account of the athletes once the check is cleared. Team PNG collected 105 medals in total at the Pacific Games in the Solomon Islands. The athletes who won these medals have been recognized through government incentives for their effort and commitment in making the country proud. The PNG Sports Foundation CEO Albert Veretau, in representing the government, presented a 1 million kina check to the Secretary General of PNG Olympic Committee, Auvita Rapila.
This is exactly how PNG Olympic Committee splits it up. So 5,000 goes to the gold medal winner, 2,500 goes to the silver medal, and 1,000 kina goes to the bronze medal.
That's for each medal?
That's for each person. Each medal, sorry. So if volleyball won the silver medal, each player gets 2,500 kina. And women's soccer, the same thing. And the individual boxers, same thing. They won gold, they get 5,000 kina.
Rewarding the athletes for your performance. And a lot of you made a lot of sacrifices, personal sacrifices, family sacrifices, some of you even education and work. So it's good to see that the government acknowledges your performance. And
the PNG Olympic Committee will have this money distributed to the bank account of the athletes once the check is cleared. The amount of money is given to the athletes varies depending on the medals they won. Coaching staff of the sports that brought in medals will also be recognized. Abigail Terry Apisa, who won gold in women's singles tennis, expressed that if this incentive was promised prior to the Pacific Games, it would have been an added motivation to the team.
An incentive were to have been announced prior to the Games, I think definitely it would push a lot. Like I know myself, it definitely would have pushed me a bit more to want to, get the incentive. But I think personally, as an athlete, the drive and the want to compete should come from within.
The PNG Olympic Committee and PNG Sports Foundation, along with the athletes, expressed gratitude to the national government for their support. PNG has signed a memorandum of understanding with New Caledonia in the hope to improve its standard in sports and to be competitive in Oceania region and in the world. This has come after back-to-back triumph of New Caledonia in the Pacific Games. The quality of athletes representing New Caledonia in the recently concluded Pacific Games in the Solomon Islands is something interesting. Taking a dive into how they get to that level of performance convinces PNG to sign the MOU. CEO of PNG Sports Foundation Albert Veretau said the MOU intends to help PNG find the type of facilities they use and the type of coaching and training they have engaged with their preparation. PNG would assess itself from there and be better.
We've taken the initiative to sign the MOU with New Caledonia. During the PNG Games, the Minister for New Caledonia Minister for Sport, Culture, International Relationship will be here during the PNG Games, and we will have the conversation with him. We want to be able to learn from them.
Veretau added that the New Caledonia have exposure to world-class facilities being trained by French athletes. PNG could use this sports cooperation agreement to explore opportunities in Europe, particularly in football and rugby.
We will go global strategy, and I look at New Caledonia as an opportunity for a talent conduit into Europe. Because I know New Caledonia has access to France. France is very big on soccer. France is also very big on rugby. And I want to be able to access that pathway.
Through this Memorandum of Understanding, New Caledonia's Minister for Sports, Culture and International Relationship will be traveling into Papua New Guinea during the 8th PNG Games early next year to see how athletes are going during the event. This would mark the beginning of the new journey for sports cooperation agreement between the two countries. This agreement is expected to have positive impacts on sports in the country. West Tigers shareholders in the NRL announced major changes to the management of the club following an independent governance and culture review. Club CEO Justin Pascoe was among important stakeholders resigning from the major club. This leaves the club with a caretaker heading into the 2024 season as club legend Benji Marshall leads the Tigers into his inaugural year as head coach. The West Tigers, Magpies and Balmain Tigers agree that they fully support the refresh aimed at delivering long-term success for the club. The football club has had a horrible run in the last decade, including their back-to-back wooden spoon title in 2021, 2 and 2023. The club last played finals football was back in 2011 and aimed to return to the finals football after a decade. The 2024 season would be the fresh start for the club with a new coach and the club officials. Age and injury has brought many amateur netballers' sporting career to an end, but a new version of the game is drawing some out of retirement.
On a balmy evening, the umpire blows her whistle and says words not often heard here.
No jumping!
The pace may be a little different, but the competition is just as alive. This is walking netball.
So basically it is netball, but you cannot jump and you cannot run. But other than that, it's netball at its finest.
A pivot away from regular rules makes it more accessible and players are less likely to get hurt. It's a perfect fit for Kathy Schliebs.
Well, being an ex-A grade player, yes, there was lots of injuries, ankles, shoulders. Walking netball has enabled you to get back into doing the game that you love and have always loved, at the ability that we can manage.
The contact in this game is social contact. This modified sport brings together people of all ages and abilities, and many say it's a great antidote to isolation and loneliness, especially in regional areas.
The muscles that hurt the most, I swear, are my cheeks, just from what
Yes. You know, that first week I was actually crying.
I think most of us would say we've never laughed so much. It's about meeting new people. I've met a lot of women that I've not known who they were, and vice versa. Plus, I think it gives you a bit of exercise. You can see we're all huffing and puffing out there tonight.
Already, nearly 200 South Australians are playing this unique sport. Netball SA says the health benefits stretch beyond the court.
We had one participant here in our competition who had early onset dementia, and their doctor actually prescribed it as part of their therapy.
A therapy full of fun, fitness and friendship.
That's all we have in sports. Maricela.
Thanks, Rex. We'll now have the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Southern isolated showers and thunderstorms. Port Moresby mostly fine, although cloudy at times. Momase, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Lay City mostly cloudy. Banimo cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorms. New Guinea Islands, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with areas of rain in New Ireland. Kimbe, partly cloudy with a shower or two, and Buka, partly cloudy with few showers. Highlands, isolated showers and thunderstorms with areas of rain drizzles. All centers partly cloudy with rain showers. Coral Sea, seas moderate to patches rough with northwest winds of 10 to 20 knots increasing to 25 knots. Bismarck Sea, seas moderate to rough with west to northwest winds of 10 to 20 knots, increasing to 33 knots over western sector. Waters of Long Island to Medan to Wewak to Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border, seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters increasing to 3 meters along warning areas. Waters of Manus and western group of islands, seas 2 to 3 meters.
And that concludes this edition of TVWan News. Have a pleasant evening. Bye for now.
The TVWan News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.